This is not just a story. This is a lesson that could change the way you see life. Welcome to English with RJR, where we learn English through real stories, told with heart, told with truth. Let's begin. He was just a kid, born to a teenage mother, raised in a small town no one cared about. But he was about to become the biggest pop star in the world. This is the untold story of Justin Bieber, a journey of pain, fame, and redemption. Before the luxury cars, before the screaming fans, before the millions of followers, there was silence and a deep hum to be seen. Let's go back to the beginning, to Stratford, Ontario, Canada, a cold, quiet town where dreams often stay dreams. Justin Drew Bieber was born on March 1st, 1994. His mother, Patty Millette, was just 18, a teenager raising a child on her own in a small apartment without much money. She battled depression, loneliness, and poverty, but she never stopped loving her son. Justin's father, Jeremy Bieber, wasn't around much. He visited sometimes, but he was not a stable presence. That absence created a wound in Justin, a void that he carried for years. But amid the struggle, there was one spark: music. At just 2 years old, Justin started playing the drums. Not just banging, but keeping rhythm. It wasn't just a hobby, it was something deeper. By age 4, he could sing in perfect pitch. He didn't go to fancy schools or have professional lessons. He had YouTube and heart. His mom noticed his talent and began recording short videos of him singing. Covers of Usher, Nayo, Chris Brown. She uploaded them to YouTube, just for friends and family. But life had other plans. A simple upload was about to change everything. One day, talent manager Scooter Braun stumbled upon one of Justin's videos. He was stunned. The voice, the charm, the presence, it was rare. He reached out to Patty, convinced her to fly to Atlanta, and introduced Justin to Usher. It was a dream come true. Soon after, Justin signed a record deal. He was only 15, just a kid, but already the world was watching. His debut single, One Time, became an instant hit. And then came the song that would define a generation, Baby. Suddenly, he wasn't just a boy from Canada. He was an international sensation. Sold-out concerts, screaming fans, endless interviews, magazines, awards. He had it all. But inside, he was still that small-town boy, wondering if any of it was real. He couldn't go to the mall, couldn't walk down the street. Everything was controlled. Everything was monitored. He was constantly being watched and judged. The pressure was massive. At 16, the world wanted him to be perfect. And when he made mistakes, they crushed him. Headlines labeled him arrogant, a bad influence. No one asked why he was hurting. They just criticized the fall. He pushed away people who cared. Family, friends, fans. He didn't trust anyone. He had lost himself in the fame. But this is not where his story ends. In fact, this is where the real story begins. Because rock bottom sometimes becomes the strongest foundation to rise again. Justin turned inward. He started questioning everything: his purpose, his life, his faith. He reconnected with his mother. He opened his heart to God. He started therapy. He began rebuilding, not his career, but his soul. It wasn't instant, but it was real. He started writing again, this time from pain, not pressure. In 2015, he released Purpose. It was more than an album. It was his confession. Songs like Sorry, Love Yourself, and What Do You Mean weren't just hits. They were healing, for him, and for millions of listeners. He wasn't the same kid anymore. He was learning how to live and love again. Then came love. Real love. He met Hailey Baldwin. They had history. Ups and downs, breaks and reunions, but their bond was strong. In 2018, they got married. A new chapter began. But marriage wasn't the end of the struggle. It was the start of deeper healing. Justin still battled anxiety, still faced depression, still questioned his worth. But this time, he wasn't alone. Hailey stood by him, reminded him he was more than a pop star. He was human. He was enough. And that changed everything. He started speaking openly about mental health, about faith, about self-love. Today, Justin Bieber isn't perfect, and he's okay with that. He still sings, still creates, still inspires. But now, it comes from truth, not pressure. He's real, raw, and honest. He once said, "You don't need to hide your scars. They show you survived." That's not weakness, that's strength. From a broken home to sold-out arenas, from a lost teenager to a man with purpose, this is more than a success story. It's a human story. A reminder that even when the world gives up on you, you don't have to give up on yourself. Justin's journey is not just about fame. It's about finding your way back home. If this story moved you, like, comment, subscribe, because here on this channel, we don't just tell stories, we share the truth behind the fame. Until next time, keep growing, keep healing, and remember, you're never too lost to be found.